Would you like Excel to do calculations for you? To level up and unlock this power, you need to master formulas and functions. Let's start with the basics. A formula is any calculation you write in a cell. Every formula starts the same way, with an equal sign. The equal sign tells Excel, I'm about to give you something to calculate. To see this in action, let's open Excel. Inside a cell, we start a formula by writing an equal sign. Then, we follow the equal sign with a calculation, say 5 plus 3. When we press Enter, Excel calculates the result and displays 8 in our cell. Awesome! We've written our first formula. But one thing to watch out for. If you forget to write the equal sign before a formula, Excel will not calculate the result. Instead, it will display the text as it's typed. So always remember to start your formula with an equal sign. Great! Now that we know how formulas work, we can start using Excel to do calculations for us. Beyond addition, Excel handles all the other basic math operators. To subtract, we use the minus sign. So, equal sign 10 minus 3 gives us 7. For multiplication, we use the asterisk. Equal sign 4 times 5 equals 20. To divide, we use the forward slash. Equal sign 15 divided by 3 equals 5. And for exponents, we use the caret symbol. Equal sign 2 to the power of 3 equals 8. With these operators, we can handle most simple calculations. But real spreadsheet work often requires combining multiple operations. When combining operations, we need to use parentheses to tell Excel which calculation to perform first. Without them, Excel would follow the standard order of operations, where multiplication and division happen before addition and subtraction. Awesome! Now we can use Excel formulas to do calculations for us. But so far, all of our formulas have used numbers we've typed in directly. This works, but it's not very flexible. To see why, let's head to a new sheet. Now suppose we have a 5 in one cell and a 3 in another, and we want to add them. Using what we know so far, in another cell we'd type equal sign 5 plus 3 and get 8. But if we wanted to update one of the values, say 5 to 10, our formula doesn't update its result, it still shows an 8. It would be better if Excel automatically updated the calculation's result based on what's actually in our cell. Fortunately, it can. Instead of typing numbers directly into our calculation, we can tell Excel to look at specific cells and use whatever values are in them. To do this, we start a new formula with an equal sign. Then, we tell Excel to use the value of cell A2 by typing A2. To add the numbers, we type plus, and to use the value of cell B2, we type B2. When we press Enter, Excel looks up the value in A2, 10, and the value in B2, 3, and adds them to get 13. Now, if we change cell A2 to a different number, the formula automatically updates. When we write a formula this way, we're using what's called cell references. Cell references are the best way to keep our formulas flexible and ensure their calculations are accurate. This is great, but manually writing cell references doesn't scale very well. For example, when working with real data, we might have tens or hundreds of rows we need to add up. To do this using a formula, we'd need to write A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus A4 and so on, which would be time-consuming and error-prone. Luckily, this is what Excel functions are for. A function is a predefined calculation built into Excel. Like a formula, it starts with an equals sign. But instead of doing the math ourselves, we write the name of a function and the range of cells to work with. Let's see this in action. Suppose we have this table of daily spending, and we want to calculate our total spending for the week. To add up each day's spending, we can use the sum function. To use that function, we start by writing an equal sign, followed by the function's name, sum, and an open parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we write the range of cells that we want to sum. To do this, we simply drag to select cells B2 through B8. Selecting this range of cells automatically fills in the inputs of the sum function. This syntax means the range starts at B2 and goes until B8. When we close the parentheses and press enter, Excel adds up all 7 values in the range and outputs the total, $210. Awesome! Excel provides many other functions that we can use to ask questions about our data. For example, we might want to know how much we spend on an average day. Or we might want to know the least and most we spent on a single day. Excel has functions to answer these questions and more. Let's start with the average, since it tells us what a typical day of spending looks like. To calculate it, we can use Excel's average function. Similar to the sum function, we start with an equal sign and then type the function's name and an open parentheses. Inside the parentheses, we specify the same range, B2 through B8. When we press enter, Excel adds all the values and divides by the count. Great! Now we know our total and average spending. To complete our spending picture, it would be nice to know the most and least amount we spend on a single day. To do this, we can use Excel's min and max functions. Writing equals min, followed by the range B2 through B8, returns the smallest value in the range. And writing equals max, followed by the same range, returns the largest. Awesome! Now we have a better picture of our spending. But before we move on, there's one detail that often trips people up. Excel treats empty cells differently than zeros. If we adjust the range of each of our calculations to include an empty cell, functions like average and min ignore it. So the result stays the same. But if we type a 0 in that cell, Excel counts it, and the result of average and min change. Great! Let's put our functions back to how they were. Now we understand how to use a few basic functions to analyze our data. But we can also use functions to do more complex calculations, like calculate the cumulative spending for each day in the week to make sure we're still on budget. This will require multiple sum formulas, one for each weekday. To calculate the spending total for Monday, the only value we need to include is Monday, so we write equals B2. But for Tuesday, we need Monday spending plus Tuesday spending, so we'll write equal sign, sum, B2 through B3. For Wednesday, we need basically the same formula as Tuesday, but extended to include Wednesday's spending. This pattern continues for the rest of the week. Okay, but retyping a similar formula for each day is very tedious. Luckily, there's a better way. Instead, Excel lets us write a single formula or function and copy it into the other cells. To see how this works, let's copy Tuesday's function down to the rest of the days. To copy a formula, we drag the corner of a cell down to fill in the rest of the cells. But notice when we do this, the cell references shift from their original positions. The start of our range keeps moving down, so now we're only adding the current day's spending to the previous days. This is not what we want for our cumulative sum. What we actually need is for the start of our range to stay fixed at cell B2 while the end of our range updates. Luckily, we can keep the start of our range fixed by adding a $sign before B and 2. The $B tells Excel to always use column B, and the $2 tells it to always use row 2. We'll leave the ending cell without dollar signs, so it will update as we copy the formula down. Now when we drag the formula down, the start of our range stays locked at B2, while the end updates to B4, B5, and so on. Perfect! Our cumulative sum now works correctly. When we use dollar signs like this, we're creating what's called an absolute reference. Absolute references stay fixed when we copy formulas. References without dollar signs, like the reference at the end of the range, are called relative references. They shift automatically as we copy formulas to new cells. Great! We've covered a lot in this video. Let's quickly recap what we've learned. A formula is any calculation in Excel, and it always starts with an equals sign. On the other hand, a function is a predefined calculation with a name and inputs, like sum, average, min, and max. Cell references make formulas dynamic. When data changes, formulas update automatically. Relative references adjust when we copy formulas, and absolute references, using dollar signs, stay locked. With these fundamentals, we're ready to build calculations that save time and reduce errors. If you'd like to practice what you've learned, check out the workbook we've linked in the description. We're working on lots more Excel explainer videos like this one, so be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out. If you have any questions or topics that you'd like to learn about, let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching!